fact that this isn't just a trendy thing, just like microdose. It's a trendy word right now, right? It's a hot word. Microdose can mean completely different things to completely different people. They're going to get with their provider. They're going to figure out what's good for their body composition, what is going to help you burn that fat and hopefully retain that muscle as much as possible. This is not a key that's going to unlock every single door, if you will, but it's going to give you an assist. It is going to help you. So I want you guys to really think about the fact that GLPs are naturally occurring in your metabolic system, right? So you already have, your body already makes these, is what I'm trying to say, right? We're not introducing something foreign. We are just supporting what is already there. So when you look at a GLP, what it actually does is it's regulating your blood sugar naturally, okay? It's managing what's been deemed as food noise for people. So that mental chatter about food is supporting your metabolic balance. So again, if you've ever heard me speak, you know I'm a big analogy person because I think it's a lot easier for people to have these conversations. I'm a belly-to-belly person. When I'm out and about, people ask me what I do. So I want you to think about that radio station, right? In your head, you have a radio station that might never turn off for some people when they are thinking about food or they have a sweet tooth, whatever it is, right? The one's always thinking about the next snack. What's in the fridge? What's my next meal? That food noise. GLP-1 is like somebody finally reaching over and turning the volume down so you can hear yourself think again. It's not that you did not have willpower. It's not that you're not trying. You're probably doing all of the right things, but that radio just needs to be turned down a little bit. It was too loud. So it is not a quick fix. I'm gonna just, I keep it real, Jason. You know this about me, guys. If you're somebody that's on social media and posting, I lost 2 pounds this week, I lost 4 pounds that week, please stop doing that. Not everyone's gonna have that experience. This is going to take time. There's a reason why your provider's checking in with you week 3, week 4, right? So you need to give your body the support it needs to communicate properly again. So when you look at it, and you're talking to clients, these are the words, you guys, that I want to tell you that are good keywords for you that are going to light people up, right? And anti-aging. Let's be real. Everybody wants to look and feel younger. Weight management, but frame it as balance, not just loss, right? Some people don't want to lose, quote unquote, weight. They need to change their body comp. There are people that when you look at a scale, their scale probably looks perfect, but their muscle needs to outweigh the fat, right? So you're going to be helping those people. Muscle recovery, especially our active clients or athletes, right? It's going to be huge for people like that. I think one of the biggest things for me personally is sleep quality. I think that is so underrated. I don't think we talk about that enough with any peptide, and I think it's one thing you guys really need to get good at talking about or asking your clients, how's your sleep? Walk me through what the normal night look for you. It's very underrated, you guys, and poor sleep affects every single thing in your body. So again, me and my analogy is picture yourself like a little construction crew. When you're young, that crew shows up every day, right on time. The tools are sharp. They're ready to work. As we age, the crew gets a little slower. They might want to take a break. A few guys might start calling in sick, right? Well, we aren't hiring a new crew around here. We're simply getting the old crew back on track, getting them to show up, getting them on schedule, getting them running at optimal performance. So it's not just about the scale, guys. It's about people feeling like themselves again, sharper, stronger, more rested, more confident. Another thing I really want to touch base on, because I feel like our company, I'll be 13 years in December, which just blows my mind. But somebody that has come from corporate America and ran a large corporation, compliance is very, very, very important. So those of you, that have been on the vitamin side, right? I started this. I need to say headaches to stay compliant, right? Well, I had something that started with an M. I called it the M word, right? And we've kind of made a joke over it over the years. But here's the deal. We do that so that we can literally stay afloat, so we can stay compliant, we can be around for a long, long time, everyone to come. So I really want you guys to think about the peptide space in the same way. All of you are locked in on our vitamin side of the business and what's compliant and what's not. So what we do talk about, right? We want to talk about cellular optimization, metabolic health, vitality, proactive aging, performance, recovery. What we do not want to say, we do not say we're going to cure disease. We do not say you're treating the diabetes. We do not say we're going to treat obesity. We are not making medical treatment language around here, you guys, period, and stop. Please don't do that. Don't wreck it for your neighbor or anyone else around here. We want to stay compliant. We do not want to give people false hope. You are not a doctor, nor should you try to act like one. We've got telehealth doing that for us. So think of it like this, GPS rerouting, right? Your body already knows the destination. Optimal health, right? That's the destination. Sometimes it just loses the signal. It takes a long way around. We are simply helping it reconnect to the satellite. That's it. That's all we're doing around here, guys. So write this down. We don't manage disease. We unlock optimal cellular performance and proactive aging. Okay? Write it down. Put it in your app. Keep that key phrase so you stay compliant. It keeps you confident because it's literally true. We're not doctors treating illness. We're wellness leaders unlocking potential. Wellness leaders unlocking potential. So, quick little recap here before I turn it back over to Jason. Your peptides, they equal cellular text messages like a security system signal. Think about it like that. Your GLP-1, turning down that food noise radio, not a trendy shortcut. Lead with anti-aging, weight management, muscle recovery, sleep quality. Never use disease or treatment language. Always come back to we unlock optimal cellular performance and proactive aging. Guys, we are not selling a miracle here. You are educating people on how their bodies already work and giving them the tools for it to work better. I personally absolutely love that we've evolved into this space, this industry, this science. This is a whole world, longevity and cellular health. It has come so far, and I just hope that this gave you a little more confidence in how to talk to people and get out there and don't be shy about sharing your own personal journey. So back to you, Jason.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. I might have some follow-up questions for you a little bit later in the call, but I'll tell you what, I love the write them down, cut them out, put them on your refrigerator. We don't manage disease, we unlock optimal cellular performance and proactive aging. So love that. That's a great takeaway, both to remember, to help guide you in your conversations, but also to remember for yourself and how you manage your own body and your own function. And so thank you. So next up, M. Henning, another awesome 200K leader. She's been here a long time. I'm so impressed with them. Every time I have a conversation with her and we talk about, either a training, a call, a go, something at Elevate, she always comes back and she always just makes it so much better. She fills in so many gaps, and so I'm really excited to listen to her. She's got some amazing things. She's going to talk a little bit about the modern peptide cell cycle and how that works in our business model, and how we're always leading with Thrive First. So, Em, are you on, and can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you're coming in loud and clear, so I'll pass the mic over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. I am so excited to add to this conversation and give a little bit of perspective on how this journey has been for me. If maybe you are somebody that is just dipping your toes in, right, and you might not feel like you have all the knowledge or all the experience, but you want to start sharing this side of our business, right? This new expansion. So I'm really excited to add to this. And the best way that I've described this is that I have felt like a brand new day one thriver all over again. Okay. And that's the angle that I want to touch on. And you might have had some of those feelings too. And I'm going to give you the same advice that I give to new promoters when they come in and they're in their VIP period. And that is that you don't need to know everything, right? You don't have to know all the information and all the facts. The way that we're all sitting here on this call tonight learning, we are all still students, right? We're all still learning. You don't have to have it all figured out. But what you do need to not only step into this space yourself, but to grow your business in this space is the willingness to show up and share this process and simply be willing to have a brand new testimony. Okay. And I want to take a little bit of pressure off of that tonight and hopefully give you that gentle nudge to really step boldly into this if you haven't yet. And so I want to remind you that we are not the providers, right? And we are not meant to be. I think what Kim spoke on is so important, that we need to be students and we need to learn and gain this knowledge. If it's your day one learning about peptides, it's okay if you don't have it all figured out, right? What your audience, your friends, your family, your customer base, what people need is for you to simply be willing to have that day one sharing this process with them. So what I tell my team all the time, especially if you are somebody that builds on social media, is that I want you to stop thinking about it as creating content, and I want you to start thinking about documenting, okay? I want you to document your life and bring people along for this ride. So if you haven't known how to start sharing about this or how to implement it in, as I said, I just hope this can take some of that pressure, because the only thing you have to do is to start sharing your journey and adding value to this conversation to reach others with it, because testimony, it has and always will be the most powerful form of marketing, right? They're not going to buy from you because you've memorized every fact. They're going to buy from you and buy with you and do this alongside you because they trust you, right? They see themselves in your story. They're going to watch your consistency with this, and step by step, they're going to start seeing you have wins that would solve the problem that they have in their day-to-day life, right? And so that is what I have been doing. You're going to start sharing your new routine, right? How it improves it, whether that's your energy or your sleep, like Kim was talking about, or your mood, or the way you're able to show up for your family. That's always going to be more impactful than a specific science-related something behind it, right? How are you going to actually touch and reach people with this? It's going to be through your testimony. So when I brought this to my social media, that's exactly what I did. I simply shared that I was adding a new tool into my toolbox, right? And I took them along for every single step of the way, choosing what I wanted to start on, going through the intake process, getting my shipment, preparing for my first injection, talking about why my supplements are still the most important, right? Sharing how I'm feeling every single day. You can not only share your routine with that, but you can talk about what's so important to surround it by, right? Your healthy habits. You can share as you are learning about metabolism and cellular health and the way that this can positively work in your body over time. You just have to be willing to be a student first, right? And share that with others. So if you're somebody that's listening and you have goals to not only improve your well-being and your health with these peptides, but you also want to grow your business with them, my biggest encouragement is just to remember that the people that you see that are successful, they don't have it all figured out, right? They simply are willing to start and figure it out along the way. I can promise you that any leader that you have seen starting to share about this, posting their reels about it, getting on the phone with people talking about it, it probably felt incredibly uncomfortable in the beginning too, and completely brand new, right? This isn't a new plus line product we're adding in where we know the ropes. This is brand new for all of us, right? We're all figuring it out, but you just have to start and find your groove, okay? And be willing to grow not only your personal testimony in it, but share that and then grow that side of your business. And something else that I think is super important to touch on, and this is something I love to talk on, I love to train about, I want to talk about pricing for a second, because as you start to have conversations with people about the peptides, right, obviously price point is going to come up, and it needs to be a part of the conversation that you feel confident and comfortable in communicating. And I 100% believe that starts with your belief in the pricing, right? This is brand new for us. It is a completely different structure in our business. It is all new pricing to us also. And I am a firm believer that one of my least favorite words is the word expensive, because it's relative to a person's perception. And before you go into any conversation about the peptides, I want you to check and make sure that you are remembering the value behind what we have, and also understanding the long-term investment that somebody is making in their health when they partner with us and they start this journey. Without knowing, I think a lot of people bring in their own perceptions or opinions about money into conversation, especially when you're talking to prospects and sales. So I just think it's important to check that at the door when you have a conversation and not make assumptions about the person that you're talking to. Remember what they're coming to you for, and they're speaking to you because they have goals for themselves, right? They're watching your testimony. Something you have said they have felt, right, that they would feel better doing that. They need that. They relate to that. They're coming to you for a reason. And if you are anybody that does have any experience in this world, they will know that we are very, very competitively priced, and we're set in an amazing value, not just for what you're receiving product-wise with your prescription, but also with the platform and the care that you get with it. So I just want you to know that when you're confident in something, that translates into the conversation you're having with your prospects, and it plays a much bigger role than people give it credit for, right? It's not just about the dollar amount, it's about the value that it's going to bring to somebody's life and their health, and you cannot put a price tag on that. And I really encourage you to be bold about that in conversations. If you do have objections come up, to know that you can be that bold reminder for them of why they even began the conversation with you in the first place and the value that this is going to have on their life. So really just stand firm and confident in that, and make sure, as I said, you're kind of looking in the mirror first if you are somebody that has felt any type of tension in that area when we're stepping into this space, okay? So next, I'm going to talk super quick about once you have a new customer, right? So somebody signs up, they go through the intake, they order, you're excited. I really just want to talk about stewarding that relationship with them and taking care of them along the way. This is a really great addition to our business because they have that support. They have the provider, they have, the calls they can schedule, the video chats they can schedule, but it also is still something where they chose to do this with you for a reason. So as I said, I really want you to steward and take care of that relationship so that you can pour that retention into your business. For a lot of people, this might be something completely new for them too. They might have fears, they might be nervous, they might not know what they're supposed to do. And of course, they will get all of that, instruction and help from the provider. But I also think them having you by their side with accountability and just support is going to make all the difference. So I'm just going to quickly run through the framework that I follow when it goes to keeping in touch with my customers. And you can organize this in whatever way that works for you. If you're a pen to paper, if you're a calendar person, if you need to set alarms in your phone, whatever you need to do to stay on top of it, I really want you to prioritize this in your business because it's going to make all of the difference when it comes to your retention. So once they've ordered, I always make sure to have them tell me when their order arrives. If you do not hear from them, check back in with them, right? Every couple days to see if it's arrived. Once they have everything, I am walking them through all of the instructions that they get, right? How they're safely storing it. It's going through how they're administering everything. And as I said, yes, it's going to come with their package, but I also just like to talk them through it myself because I'm doing it too, right? I'm bringing them on this journey. And if I can help them with support and their comfortability, I really want to do that. I make sure that they feel confident, they're ready for this journey, and also that they know how to contact their provider and easily log into their portal. Around day 2 to 7, I'm checking in either daily or every other day. I just want to make sure they're doing well, right? They're adjusting well, they are feeling good, everything is going okay. Especially if they are taking the supplements alongside the peptides, which we obviously highly, highly recommend. I want to make sure they're taking their products right. The same way that I take care of my current supplement customers, that they've fallen into a really good routine that works for them. I'm going to ask feelings. Again, what Kim was saying, how is your sleep, right? How are you feeling? How's your water intake? Are you getting enough protein in, right? Are you feeling anything different? Ask them that and celebrate the wins with them. By the end of you checking in with them throughout those days, you should really have that established connection with them. And as you continue that through their first month, that is really going to make it where they have gained somebody that is truly walking alongside them. And that's how retention happens, right? So care for your customers, walk them through this, be that personable friend to them that is alongside them. And especially if you are, as I said, doing it too with them and you're on your own peptide journey, your consistency and sharing that on social media is also very big for your customers to see that. And that helps them stay on track with their habits and everything else too. And then just towards the end of their first month, make sure they know when their next shipment's going out, they're prepared for it, and see if there's anything that you need to enhance or troubleshoot moving forward. Bring up the supplements if they are not on them. Please talk about the importance of that and just be there for them. Okay. And I'm going to end it with this because I don't want to be too long-winded, and I'll pass it back to you, Jason. But I just want to leave you with what I was saying before, and that the best thing you can do with us in this new launch, in this new space, is to simply start. Okay, you don't have to feel 100% confident or knowledgeable or even comfortable, right? We all start having that nervousness, right, and not knowing how to move forward, but you're going to start anyways. I always compare it to getting on a bike. The only way you can learn how to ride a bike is if you get on a bike and you start pedaling. And you might fall off a couple times. It might feel uncomfortable, but you're not going to master that skill unless you start when it feels wobbly and messy, okay? And the thing that I was most excited for with this launch is that it gave us another tool, right, to help more people, to serve more people, and to help them to improve their quality of life. Get excited about that. Get proud, get loud, and know that you are a part of a huge movement that is going to help so many people. So thank y'all so much for having me on. I hope you could take away some nuggets and apply it to your business. And Jason, I'll pass it back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Em. Always love how you bring it all together. Super good job. Thank you. Our next and last panelist is Laura Wells. And Laura has been in this industry for nearly 30 years. I think she started when she was about 18. And she has been on both the corporate side, the technological side for sure, but also she's been a promoter, I believe, close to 10 years. And so I'm excited to hear from her. She's going to talk about creating a peptide community, what it takes, things that you can use, things that are successful that she's seen. And she's doing this on her own as well. Her and I have had some discussion, and she's just recently put together a webinar that was phenomenal. The content and the community and everything else that she does to create that. So, Laura, I'm going to pass the call to you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good to go. Hear me okay?
Awesome. Thank you. Yep,
awesome.
You're coming in loud and clear.
Yay, and yeah, I'm actually coming up on my 11th Thriveversary in December. Very excited, and it also pairs with my 50th birthday, so go me. I'm super excited about this, and thank you, Jason, for having us all on. I think this is such a great platform to just kind of share and get more education. For me, about this peptide launch, about Lavelle RX, people from all walks of life, we know, are thriving with us, right? We have customers, millions of customers from all over in multiple different countries, multiple backgrounds, demographics, and all of that. And likewise, we've got people all over the United States for now who are utilizing our RX platform. And what I'm noticing is that there are, quite frankly, there's just a lot of people who, they don't have a lot of support, maybe at home, maybe within their friend group. Maybe people just don't get it. And just in general, just probably in their life. But not only that, the topic of peptides and longevity wellness tools, that's a whole nother thing that some people are feeling like, oh, nobody gets it. I'm out alone on this island, So what I'm trying to create, the reason we came up with this webinar and hosted that with 3 days notice, no paid ads or anything like that. I just posted it a few times on social media. My team and we promoted that. Sent out a few emails. We had 70 people on that webinar. It was seriously amazing. But what that says is that there are a lot of people who want information. So creating a community around that, I feel like, is really important because information brings confidence. And with confidence, I mean, truly, like, the sky is the limit for a lot of people. So what I am seeing is that, and I guess it goes back before, you start creating this community. I was just talking to some of my team members this afternoon about this, that it all starts with you. It starts with you leading by example. It starts with, you setting an example based around your own mindset, around your own health and your attitude and your healthy habits, and that we're literally creating a ripple effect here. So in order to start a community and create a community that truly thrives, that community starts with one person, and that's you. And so for me, kind of some of the ways that we're doing that is, first and foremost, obviously, we're bringing people in just a little bit closer to say, like, hey, lean in, at least for no other reason, just get enough information so that you can make a decision that's best for you. I'm not out there telling people, oh, you want to lose weight? Here's what you need. Like, do this, and you should order that, and blah. That is not for me to say. All I want to do is I want to give people space and the trust to be able to say, I have questions, and I'm not going to treat them like they're dumb. I'm not going to treat them like they're annoying if they ask the 900th question of the day. I just want to be able to point them to the various tools that we have. So the community is a really big one that I'm pointing people to. Now, obviously, your team, all of our teams, we have Facebook groups for our customers, like information groups. So we're utilizing those big time, which is great for more information and, like, just kind of like cheering each other on and what's new with you, what's going on, and like new ideas for, like, hey, here's a weight training video, or here's a really good snack idea or way to get protein or whatever. I love that Lavelle Corporate has also created an official Facebook group for Lavelle RX. I think that's so smart. Whoever the idea was, that was so smart. But that's a whole nother education hub that we have. Like this, it's like a biohacking and wellness classroom. Okay, so it's not just like a Facebook group where, like, there's promos posted. It is literally like an accountability community that the company has created for us that we don't have to run. Isn't that nice? I love it. We can contribute to it, but we don't have to run it. So it's not one of the things we have to do. But inside of our community, one thing that's really important is obviously loving people where they're at. We have all different goals and all different things that we're keeping our eye on, all different reasons that we're starting all these different tools. But one of the big ones that I really encourage everybody to, like, stick this on a sticky note or something and remind yourself, the scale is not everything. You do want to track things that your scale is going to show and use that as data, but start tracking non-scale victories too. And so, like, for me, I have an Aura ring. There's all different ways you can do this, but I do like to track holistic health markers. So things like my metabolic health, my cardiovascular age. It tracks other things that impact, like, your quality of life. Like, how well are you sleeping? What's your mental clarity like? What's your body composition like? Like, are you reducing your body fat and increasing your lean muscle mass? I'm not a doctor, but I do know that that's beneficial, right? So helping your community learn how to track that stuff. And with, for us as promoters, we've been in that space and we've been having these conversations for, all this time. But for a lot of people, this is their first chance. This is their first introduction into these kinds of things where the scale is not everything. So be sure that you're tracking all of that too. The other thing I'm noticing is that people are still a little nervous even after they order. Not nerves as, like, they're skeptical, but I'm seeing it even promoters who, like, they record themselves on video or they're doing a reel or whatever, and they're like, I can't believe I'm doing this, and here I go, I'm kind of scared of the poke, and what's it going to feel like? If it's your first time doing this, which it was for me too, I thought that needle was going to be like giving myself an epidural or something. I literally was like, this is going to hurt, I'm going to be a big baby about it, and it was nothing. So what I'm seeing as a leader is that I can set the tone, I can set the example, and just share. I shared my fears. I shared what I was nervous about and how actually that was kind of goofy. It actually wasn't scary or painful or anything like that. But I do think it's important to kind of share those things so that you can help calm other people's fears. And that is actually why why I'm doing like the webinar and things like that, because I do feel like education helps people with their confidence as well. And I just also feel like there's so much misinformation and fear mongering out there about wellness tools and peptides and all that kind of stuff. So for us, giving it back to you, Jason, I really do, again, thank you guys for creating the online community that you have for us, the official Facebook group. And of course, we can utilize our own Facebook groups and webinars and whatever we're doing, but it really does help to have that tool because it's very transparent, it's very open. We're all thrivers, and going through this together, it's really refreshing. So I'll hand it back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. And love what you're doing with building your own community, and there's so many things that we can take from one another. And Cliff and I were talking with Jason Camper this afternoon, just talking strategy, talking how the launch has gone, talking about things that we need to fix, change, build off of, and we're excited. And one thing that you will always hear me talk about, and that is the main thing, and that is thrive. Thrive is the main thing. We sell peptides, we promote peptides in conjunction with the supplements that really make the difference. And I love what Kim talked about earlier. She talked about, the text messaging system that peptides are, right? She gave 2 or 3 really good analogies, but just remember, as you go out and as you build this business and as you focus on your customers, as Em talked about, as you focus on that community that Laura talked about, and as you focus on that sales cycle, remember how important it is to always bring it together, always bring it back to Thrive, always bring it back to free accounts, right? Everything that we do should always lead with free accounts. Now, people will take you up on that. Oh, a free account, I get a free account? Absolutely. So you're going to, if you haven't seen this already, you're going to see a phenomenal month-in 3-part promotion that's been sent out, and it will be awesome. It will really help push growth between now and the end of the month. But for all of us, I want to thank all 3 of our panelists, Kim, Em, and Laura. Awesome job. Thank you for joining us. We've had a big group on the line tonight, and this is awesome. You will see another one of these